way in which crossing intersections are now handled has been improved. The nominate side road form is no longer available. It has now been replaced by this particular form. We've got a couple of things that we're going to be looking at. Firstly, we've got a sort of a very typical crossing intersection where we have two road strings crossing over, and we have a main road, which is this road here, road number 3, and then we have a side road here, which is road number 5. In the form, you can see that we have selected this particular crossing intersection, denoted by the fact we have that little cross. On the right hand side, we can use an option called ignore intersection, and the software will ignore that these two road strings intersect each other. If we check that box, you can see that as soon as we do that, the software just goes ahead and ignores the two of these two crossing roads. You can see that the software reinstates the original values left in this form as previously set. What we can do is also switch the main road and side road. Now, this used to be handled by the nominate side road forms, whereas it's entirely done through this form now. So if we check this box here, the software will retain all of my kerb return values that are set down here, but now switch road number 5 to be my main road, and road number 3 is now my side road. Another option we've got is where we have alignments set, but we don't necessarily want to create a four-way intersection. And to show you that, what I'm going to do is use the little intersection picker tool and come down to this intersection here. Traditionally, when you've operated civil site design, the software would anticipate that this would be a crossing intersection or a four-way intersection. However, when we come over to the T intersection, we can now determine whether or not the software should remove the kerb returns on the incoming, i.e. this incoming road here, or the outgoing part of the intersection. So we'll set this to none, always checking this box straight afterwards to reinstate what we've done. And you can see this is what the software would have done traditionally with civil site design, trying to force in kerb returns. Now, this sort of relates to something that we have up here, which is called crossing intersections apply automatic T by distance. If you look at that value, if your alignment was to extend past at least by 10 meters, the software will assume that there's going to be a four-way intersection. If it does not extend past by 10 meters by default, it will try where it can to just simply form a regular T intersection. We'll click cancel. If in this instance we still want a T intersection, what we can do is come into this form and say remove end kerb returns. Click this button. By the way, if you do make a mistake, in fact I'll show you what happens when we go remove start returns. Essentially what we're going to be doing is removing all of the row design through here. You would normally find the knock-on for doing that could be fairly dramatic with regards to losing all of your kerb returns, but I'll show you what happens by clicking on this button here. And what we do is we keep your kerb returns in play, so we do not delete them. So obviously this is not what I want. I don't want an intersection coming in down the south, I want it coming in on the north here. So I'm going to change this to remove end returns, making sure I click this button here. By doing so, the intersection will be formed, removing one side of the intersection of the kerb returns. Now this is only really applicable where you have an alignment in this arrangement. There are cases where that may be necessary, but I expect for many users you would start your zero chainage at the T to form a T intersection, in which case this would not be something that you would have to consider. If you decide that you want to reset any intersections that have this arrangement, you can head up to the crossing intersections, pull down on the menu up here and click toggle off T converted intersections, and essentially this is going to restore the intersection back to its default values.